Broncos, oh boy, going to Kansas City. Now the Chiefs, kind of like the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They're 4-1. They get a win today at Minnesota. They cover the number, hold on late. They haven't been. It's like when you watch Philadelphia and they're 5-0. Like you watch the Niners and you go, "Ooh, that's a wagon." You watch the Eagles, like yeah, they're really good, but are they dominant? I'm wondering about the Chiefs the same way. Now, right now, that number opened at about 10 against the Broncos. Slight uptick to 10.5. Relatively high total. You would expect that, 51 and 51.5. Look, the Broncos' defense has just been abysmal. And the Chiefs' offense, while it might not be hitting on all cylinders, it still hits on enough.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of this, and is it going to be another shootout? And certainly we know that, boy, if somebody's got somebody's number, Patrick Mahomes has got the Broncos' number.
Yeah, not a big change in the number, 10.5, pretty much, where it was. There were some 10s out there. There were some 10.5s on the opener. But see what happens, Dave, when Taylor Swift does not attend a game. Travis Kelce gets hurt. Now, he did return to the game,
and scored a touchdown.
Yes, so he did return, but it's like, see what happens?
Does she have to now go to every game?
I know. She got some tour dates coming up, so she's not going to be able to make many of these. So, put Travis Kelce in bubble wrap, I guess, for the rest of the remaining season. But, look, Chiefs did what they do. They hung on today against Minnesota, 27-20. They do get the cover. Pretty even game if you really look at the stats today. 333 to 329 the yardage. Minnesota actually had 24-21 first down edge. But one thing that they did have was that one fumble, and that was the big difference. Couldn't get the Chiefs off the field on third down, 9 of 15. Chiefs didn't really run the ball, but Patrick Mahomes, look, pedestrian game, I guess, 31 of 41 for 281 and 2 touchdowns, even though you'll take that every week with the 109.9 QBR. But I thought the Chiefs, because it's back-to-back road games, right? And, the money came in on Minnesota, too. And I think it went down to about 3.5, and the Chiefs,
like high
Chiefs get the cover.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a controversial call late when the guy took his helmet off, and that probably should have been a penalty on the Chiefs.
The one thing that if you didn't see what Wes is referring to, is a 7-point game. It's 4th and goal, and Cousins throws it up, and they say the ball was tipped, so there's no pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chiefs defender takes his helmet off. One, the ball was not tipped, so. Like replay, I know it's another discussion for another day, but it did change everything. Might have changed the total because if that's pass interference, you get the ball at the 1, and certainly could have changed the fortunes of the game at that point. So it's still an inexact science of what they can review, what they can't review, because when you say the ball is tipped, but you can't replay to see if the ball was tipped, and it was not tipped, then PI would have stood and would have given Minnesota first and goal at the 1, down 27-20, and then everything changes. Side total potentially all changes. So that's kind of the point here with the Chiefs. And if you want to lay 10.5, I can understand why against the Broncos. But even in covering numbers like they did here on the road, it's not like you had to sweat it out to literally the final play there. So I don't know what to make of the Broncos is the other thing. Look, the big collapse against Commanders in week 2 really feels like it set this whole season back. You lose at home to the Raiders week 1, right by 1. Then you gaff one away against Washington somehow. I mean, if it wasn't for the Bears in an epic collapse, by the way, they trailed the Bears 28-7 in the 4th quarter in Soldier Field and came back and got that win. We'd be looking at an 0-5 Sean Payton.
Yeah, and this is not a very good Broncos team, and now you're facing Patrick Mahomes, who, by the way, you said he owned him 11-0.
How about that?
In his career against the Denver Broncos, but not a lot of movement here. I have not decided if I'm going to do anything with this game. Obviously, big favorite, primetime game.
Short
Over's
week.
probably going to get bet. It is a short week. Look, we saw a dog on a short week that looked hopeless last week. Not only get the cover, but get the outright win. I don't expect that here, but, be a little careful with the Chiefs when they're laying big numbers. When they lay small to medium numbers, they can cover. But when they lay big numbers, sometimes when they get a lead, they'll sit on that lead a little bit. You think that they're so explosive, but they don't always run away and hide. But when they feel like they have control of the game, they'll just keep control of the game.
And that is kind of, look, and that's the way Andy Reid wants to play it, right? Just get out of Dodge, get another win. He doesn't really care about what we care about necessarily in the betting market. But that is interesting. And if you look at the Broncos, who would have thought that the problem for the Broncos this year would be the defense? Because we all thought that's, well, Sean Payton's going to walk into a good scenario. It's a good defense, and they got to figure out the offense. The offense is actually playing better. Now again, they had this strip sack fumble that was returned to end the game today against the Jets. But, they're moving the ball. I watched a lot of that game today against a good Jets defense. And they moved it. They controlled it. They had a lead at halftime. So I don't know. I'm with you. My lean would probably be today, Broncos. But I got to think for, historical sense. And I know the data changes because the teams are different. Mahomes has never lost to them. You have to think if you like the Broncos, you might want to wait. Because I got to think the Chiefs' money, it might even get knocked up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. And injury reports obviously change everything. But I could see this going to 11 and a half. So I don't think you don't have to run to the window to take Denver.
Yeah, you might want to wait there. And if you want to back the Chiefs, it's kind of like the Dolphins last week. When we did the look ahead a week ago, we said, hey, you might want to take the fish now. Remember, they were coming off the Buffalo loss. It was 9.5. And we hadn't seen the Giants play yet, right? And we're like, hey, you probably want to grab that 9.5 if you want to back Miami.
It didn't get any buyback until 13.
How about that? So that's what we're kind of getting at here. I don't know that this number gets out of whack with this, but I do think that money will come in and the number will go up. So I think our advice here on a Sunday night would be, if you really want to back the Chiefs, this is probably the best number you're going to get right now. Because, again, open 10, already up to 10.5.
Yeah, no question about it.
So maybe, if anything, hold there. Total, any leans there, 50-50?
Nothing for me at this point.
Okay.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.